Hello and welcome to my dear students. In this video lecture today we are going to discuss about biomolecules, right? So what are biomolecules and what are the topics which we have to learn in this chapter? Okay, bio means living. Okay, bio, the word bio means living and the molecule means chemical. It means the chemicals which are present in the living thing are the chemicals which build up the living system are known as biomolecules, right? So these biomolecules are the organic compounds which builds up the living system, right, and are responsible for their growth and maintenance, right? This is the definition of biomolecule. Actually, these biomolecules are also the organic compounds which build up the living system and are responsible for their growth and maintenance, right? Now, what is the branch of chemistry called in which we study about biomolecules? That branch of chemistry is known as biochemistry, right? So what is biochemistry? It is the branch of chemistry which studies the chemical changes in the living system, or we can say which studies about biomolecule, that branch is known as biochemistry, right? And we know the living system is made up of very complex molecules, and these complex molecules, it includes the carbohydrates, it includes the proteins, it includes the nucleic acids, it includes the lipids, vitamins, hormones and enzymes. These all are the complex molecules, right, which we call as biomolecules, which make the living system, right? In simple words, in carbohydrate we have to learn about carbohydrates, we have to learn about proteins, nucleic acids, lipids, vitamins and hormones, also enzymes, right? We will start with carbohydrates. Now, what are carbohydrates? Carbohydrates are the optically active polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones, right? Or we can say these are the substances which yield these optically active polyhydroxyaldehydes or ketones on hydrolysis. They are called carbohydrates. This is the definition of carbohydrates, right? Now, classification of carbohydrates based on hydrolysis. These are of three types. Okay, first is monosaccharide, right? As the word saccharide, in Greek word saccharon means sugar, right? So monosaccharides, these are the simplest carbohydrates which cannot be hydrolyzed to smaller molecules, right? Their general formula is CH2O whole n, where the value of n ranges from 3 to 7, right? And for example, if we take the value of n equal to 3, we will get C3H6O3. This is also the carbohydrate, right? For example, we have glucose, we have fructose, we have ribose. These are the monosaccharides, right, which when dissolved in water, they do not undergo any hydrolysis, right? They cannot be hydrolyzed. Next is oligosaccharides, right? Oligo means few. These carbohydrates which on hydrolysis give 2 to 10 molecules of monosaccharide units, they are known as oligosaccharides. They are classified as disaccharides, trisaccharides, tetrasaccharides, etc. and so on. Okay, carbohydrates which upon hydrolysis give 2 molecules of same or different monosaccharides, they are called disaccharides, right? Examples include sucrose, maltose, right? Sucrose on hydrolysis gives us glucose and fructose. Maltose on hydrolysis gives us glucose, 2 molecules of glucose, right? In the same way, we have trisaccharide, for example raffinose, which on hydrolysis gives us glucose, fructose as well as lactose, right? We have tetrasaccharides which upon hydrolysis, these are the carbohydrates which are included in the oligosaccharide, which upon hydrolysis gives 4 molecules of same or different monosaccharides, right? That is, for example, stachycose, which on hydrolysis gives us glucose, fructose and 2 molecules of galactose. Okay, now polysaccharides. These are also the carbohydrates which on hydrolysis gives large number of monosaccharide units. Poly means many. Many units of monosaccharides are obtained on hydrolysis. Okay, they are not sweet in taste. Important point, hence they are called non-sugars. Okay, polysaccharides are also non-sugars. Examples include, we have starch, we have cellulose, we have glycogen, okay, we have gums. These are the polysaccharides. Now the classification based on reducing property. Okay, classification of carbohydrates based on reducing property. We have reducing sugars and non-reducing sugars. So what are reducing sugars? Those carbohydrates in which aldehydic or ketonic group are free and are capable of reducing Fehling solution or Tollens reagent, they are also known as reducing sugars. Now what are non-reducing sugars? Those carbohydrates in which aldehydic or ketonic group is not free and are not capable of reducing Fehling solution or Tollens reagent. For example, we have sucrose, starch, cellulose, glycogen. These are non-reducing carbohydrates, right? These are non-reducing sugars. And we have monosaccharides like glucose, fructose, ribose. These are reducing sugars, right? Now, monosaccharides, they are classified on the basis of functional group present in them. If the functional group present is aldehydic, they are known as aldose. If the functional group present is ketone, they are known as ketose, right? So monosaccharides containing aldehydic group, they are known as aldoses, and the monosaccharides containing ketonic group, they are known as ketoses. If the aldose contains 3 carbon, it is called aldotriose. If the aldose contain 4 carbon, it is called aldotetrose. 5 carbons, it is called aldopentose. 6 carbons, it is also called aldohexose. For example, we have glucose, right? In the similar way, ketose containing 3 carbon, it is known as ketotriose, ketotetrose, ketopentose, ketohexose. We have best example, that is fructose. Okay, now we have glucose. We will start with introduction about the glucose, right? It is aldohexose. First point, it is also known as dextrose. It is dextrorotatory, right? Its molecular formula is C6H12O6. Okay, it can occur freely as well as in combined form in nature. Okay, it is present in sweet fruits, honey, and ripe grapes, right? That's why glucose is also known as grape sugar, right? Now the properties of glucose. Now first of all, we have preparations of glucose, right? From sucrose. Sucrose is also known as cane sugar. This is laboratory method. How we can prepare glucose in lab. Glucose can be easily obtained in the laboratory by the hydrolysis of alcoholic solution of cane sugar. That is sucrose with dilute HCl or H2SO4 at 50 degree centigrade to give glucose and fructose in equal amount. Right, this is the reaction. This is cane sugar, sucrose, hydrolysis in acidic medium. We will get glucose and fructose in equal amounts. This is the preparation of glucose in lab, right? Next method, from starch, right? On large scale, glucose is obtained by hydrolysis of starch by boiling it with dilute H2SO4 at 393 Kelvin under pressure, right? This is the general formula of starch, C6H10O5 n times. We will hydrolyze it with n times water molecules, acidic medium. This is the temperature 393 Kelvin and 2 to 3 atmosphere pressure. We will get n times glucose molecule, n times, right? So this is second method of preparation of glucose. Now structure of glucose, right? This is also known as aldohexose, open structure. This is the open structure of glucose. We have at the top CHO group, which is aldehyde group, and this is 1 degree alcoholic group CH2OH, and we have 2 degree alcoholic group. This is alcoholic group 2 degree, this is 2 degree alcoholic group 2 degree and 2 degree, 2 degree alcoholic group. Or we can write glucose structure in this way: CHO, CHOH 4 times, right? CHOH 4 times, okay, and CH2OH, right? Glucose, it has molecular formula C6H12O6, right? How we can detect it has present straight chain? Now the presence of straight chain, how is it indicated? We will react glucose with HI, right? Glucose when heated with HI, hydrogen iodide or hydroiodic acid, for long time, it forms normal hexane, which shows that all the 6 carbon atoms are linked in straight chain in the glucose, right? This is the glucose, right? When it is reacted with hydroiodic acid and heated, the reduction takes place and we get normal hexane, right? In normal hexane we have 6 carbon atoms linked in a straight chain, which indicates 6 carbons are present in the glucose, right? Now we have configuration of glucose, right? Configuration of the glucose, right? Glucose has molecular formula C6H12O6. Now Emil Fischer was the chemist, right, who gave us Fischer projection formula to represent glucose, right? This is the open chain structure of glucose. Emil Fischer uses the Fischer projection formula, give the Fischer projection formula to represent this glucose, right? He draw the structure of glucose in this manner: CHO group here at the top, and this is CH2OH group, right? We will represent this by line, right? These carbon atoms. This is second carbon, this is third, this is fourth, this is fifth, and this is sixth. We will write OH here, H here. Next time H here, OH here. OH and OH here, H and H here, right? So this is the Fischer projection formula of glucose, and this is gluconic acid in the Fischer projection formula, right? We will represent carbon with line here, with dot, okay? Now dextrorotatory, glucose is dextrose, that is dextrorotatory, we will represent positive here, and the OH is on the right side, so it is D, capital D written here, this OH, right? Capital D and capital L notation. D and L before the name of compound commonly indicates the relative configuration of particular stereoisomer. For the compound to represent D and L, asymmetric center, or we can say chiral center, should be present. This is the chiral center having 4 different groups, okay? For example, we have this glyceraldehyde, right? This is the chiral center. 4 different groups are present here. 4 different groups are present here, right? This is chiral center, and the OH group is present on the right side, so we can say it is D-glyceraldehyde, right? And this is dextrorotatory, that is positive symbol, plus that is dextrorotatory, right? This will rotate the plane polarized towards right. The OH is on the left side, we will write it capital L, and this negative shows it is levorotatory. This is levorotatory, right? Small d is dextrorotatory, shown by positive symbol, and L is levorotatory, shown by negative symbol. It deals with optical activity. These 2 signs, it deals with optical activity, and capital D and capital L, they deal with the relative configuration of a particular stereoisomer, whether D or L, okay? Glucose is named as D plus glucose, that is, it is dextrorotatory, that is its optical activity, right? We have D plus glucose, its mirror image is this L glucose, right? OH will invert here, OH, right? It will get inverted. So open structure or linear structure of glucose fails, and after that comes the birth of cyclic structure of glucose. The linear structure of glucose fails to explain the following points, right? Glucose does not restore the pink color of Schiff's reagent despite having an aldehyde group. It also fails to explain the formation of hydrogen sulfide addition product with sodium bisulfite, NaHSO3, right? This is aldehyde. When it reacts with primary amine, right, loss of water takes place, and we get this compound RCHNR. This is Schiff's base, okay? Now this aldehyde, when reacts with sodium bisulfite, we will get this product. Finally proton transfer takes place and we will get this bisulfite product, but glucose does not give this product, right? The pentacetate of glucose does not react with hydroxylamine, which shows the absence of free CHO group, right? This is aldehyde, it reacts with hydroxylamine and we get oxime. But pentaacetate of glucose does not react with hydroxylamine, right? These are the limitations of open structure of the glucose. Glucose exists in two different crystalline forms, alpha and beta. Alpha form of glucose, its melting point is 419 Kelvin, is obtained by crystallization from concentrated solution of glucose at 303 Kelvin. And the beta form of glucose, whose melting point is 423 Kelvin, is obtained by crystallization of hot and saturated aqueous solution at 371 Kelvin. Now the cyclic structure of glucose, right? We have to remember 6-membered ring is more stable, right? So this is the open chain structure of glucose, right? This lone pair here will attack this carbonyl carbon carrying positive charge, right? And here this carbon will link to this carbon through this oxygen bond, right? And we will represent it in the pyranose form, right? Haworth has given the formula to represent the cyclic structure of glucose, and the cyclic structure of glucose, it resembles with the pyran. This cyclic structure of glucose, it resembles with the pyran. So we will take the pyran 6-membered ring, right? And this is the Haworth representation of pyranose structure of glucose, right? This is D plus glucose, right? We will write this is carbon 1, H and OH. This is second carbon, this is third carbon, this is fourth carbon, this is fifth carbon, and this is sixth carbon, right? This is alpha D plus glucopyranose. This is beta D plus glucopyranose, right? The hydrogens, the groups which are present on the left side, okay? The groups which are present on the left side, we will write it above. We will write it above here. We will write it above. And those which are present on left side, we will write it below. Okay, in this way we will write here. Now we have fructose. This is also known as ketohexose, right? It is obtained by hydrolysis of sucrose along with glucose. It is also called fruit sugar. Molecular formula same as glucose. It is levorotatory, remember. Sucrose on hydrolysis go glucose and fructose. This is the preparation, right? And this is sucrose is disaccharide. Now open structure of the fructose, right? This is the open structure of fructose. CH2OH group are present at both the ends, right? It also exists in two cyclic forms, alpha and beta, which are obtained by addition of OH of carbon thio at carbonyl group, and it resembles with furan, right? And so it is furanose form. In the similar way, left side groups on upside and left on upside and right on downside, we will write in the furanose form, Haworth structure. This is the Haworth structure of alpha D fructofuranose, right? We will represent in this manner these structures. Now the disaccharides, which include the sucrose, maltose and lactose, right? This is the sucrose. Its molecular formula on hydrolysis we will get D-glucose and D-fructose. The mixture is overall levorotatory. This mixture is overall levorotatory. So the hydrolysis of sucrose brings about a change in the sign of optical rotation from dextro to levo, and such a change is known as inversion of cane sugar, right? And the equivalent mixture of D-glucose and D-fructose, which sucrose gives on hydrolysis, right? It is called invert sugar, right? So we will stop here today. Okay, thank you.